We're good, Dan.
All right, call this meeting to order. Roll call, Mr. Galanick. Here. Mrs. Burnett.
Here.
And Mr. Cowley is also here. The notice of the meeting was posted on the district webpage and posted throughout the district according to school board policy. Item number 3 on the agenda is addition of new class at NHS.
All right, I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Smith and
delegated to
Kroll.
Mrs. Kroll. I was told I need to delegate more,
Yeah.
but taking that
He's been
seriously.
using that line a lot.
Floor is yours.
So in the past, what we've done is, we always take the course book from the previous year and we share it with our staff, and they can go through and read what their course descriptions are and make any updates that need to be made. This year, I guess I think I'll start with the smaller changes. There's a few minor updates, like in the English department, UWS changed their American Lit 222 to just English 222. So Katie Thompson would like to change that to match UW Superior's title. Mr. Coleman would like to switch physics explorations to just say physics, because he feels like that explorations title makes it sound like it's maybe lower level than it is. So he just wants it to read physics. He feels like then colleges will know that it's a true physics class and at a higher level. So just those are some minor changes in the art department. Mr. Hessel and Mrs. Meldy decided that they'd like to remove graphic art from the course book. And there's a few reasons for that. To do graphic art, they share the computer lab with the tech ed department, which has been working, except those lab computers don't have all the software. The software is out of date. It's going out of date, and we're gonna have to relicense all of them. And this is a class we only run every other year, but it's like a monthly fee to have what Charlie needs to run the class, and he just feels like it's probably not running enough with enough kids to pay that monthly fee. So what he thought he would do is just incorporate some graphic art into his digital photography class, so he kind of has a plan if kids are interested in that. But we won't have a lab space or the license on the shared computers to do what he has been doing over the years, which we could pay for, but it seems like if it's not running more than every other year, that it's not worth the cost. So those are some of the minor changes. In Phi-Ed, we have, I would say, a bigger change where we're looking to combine our Phi-Ed 9 and Phi-Ed 10 classes to just be a PE 9-10. We've had to do that a few times in the schedule over the years when I've done the scheduling, because really anytime you change something that's offered at the high school level, it changes how classes balance. So for Phi-Ed, a little history here is when we removed health from Phi-Ed, it really made it difficult to schedule because health was all for freshmen and PE 9 was all for freshmen, and they took them in the same semester. So term 1 would be PE, term 2 was health. When we took health away, we paired those PE classes with like an intro to art or a foods or computer apps, but none of those classes are grade specific. So if you were a 10th grader in intro to art, then you couldn't take a Phi-Ed next to it. And sometimes we'd run into places where kids didn't have another class to take with it. So we have to be flexible and sometimes allow 9th or 10th graders in. And so over the years, I've just advocated for this change basically because none of our other electives are only for freshmen or sophomores. So we need the elective Phi-Ed, or not elective, it's required, Phi-Ed that pairs with those other quarter classes to be a little more flexible. And so this year, Mr. Lawton, we did that with a few classes, and he hasn't had a prep because he's on an overload, but by doing that, we were able to combine some classes and get him a prep. So it has worked out so far.
So would a student take that same class 2 years in a row?
They
9,
can.
10?
So what our recommendation is they have to take it once. And we would like them to take it in 9th grade. I would say 95% of ninth graders will take it. Occasionally, we can't get it into a schedule depending on their other requests. But they can take it again in 10th grade, or they can move into like weightlifting or team sports or rec PE. And so they can, and we do have a PE 11, 12, that's just for the upperclassmen, but there's other courses they can also take. So the requirement would change to a PE 9, 10, and then another additional credit of FIED to meet the state requirement of a credit and a half to graduate. So it used to be PE 9, PE 10, and one elective course. Now it would just be PE 9, 10, and a credit of elective, depending on, for those who really, there are kids who love and thrive in FIED, and there are others who really struggle in it. So we have other, like rec PE is really set up for those students who dread that time of year where they have to take FIED. Team sports is set up for those who want to be really competitive. Weights are for those who are trying, maybe can't get in the weight room before or after school for transportation reasons. So there's different classes that meet needs based on what they want to do. So, so that is a change to, it's a change to the graduation requirement that they would still need a credit and a half of FIED, but it would just be PE 9, 10 instead of 9 and 10. Does that make sense? Okay. Sometimes I keep talking and I'm not sure if I
You did a great job.
Okay, thanks, Brian. And then, on the second page or the back side, depending on if you're back to back, we, when Kathy Lottie retired, we lost our articulation with Northwood Tech for our early childhood class. She qualified to teach that based on, her credentials, and you have to have different experiences in the field to be able to teach classes for Northwood Tech. So because Mrs. Raddick doesn't have those same credentials, we just have to remove that from the course book. You have to do so many hours in a daycare outside of teaching to be able to articulate it with Northwood Tech. So that one we have to do, but we thought we would at least let you know we were removing it.
So you're removing the whole course or just the articulating
Just the
part?
articulation, because there's a little note in the course book that says that they can earn college credit by doing it,
Okay.
and Mrs. Raddick isn't able to offer it for college
Okay, so
credit.
they can still take the course. and
Yep,
get
yep,
the
we'll still
experience.
have the early childhood course. And then at the very top, you'll see, there's two other things that are, we have a new course proposal, and then under general, there has been a change to the Start College Now program and just to refresh your memory, Start College Now and the Early College Credit Program are the programs run through the state where kids can take up to 18 college credits. Start College Now is through the technical colleges. So there is wording in the Start College Now policy, legislation, whatever the right word is, that students who do not reside in our school district have to apply for that program through the school district that they reside in. So we needed to update our language to meet that change that was made at the DPI level. So I've been in contact with Superior and Solon, because those are the schools we would probably work with the most. But anyone who's open enrolled who wants to do Start College Now will need to make an appointment with their resident school and apply. So you should know that because you might see applications. It's works both ways. So if we have a student open enrolled away from us, they might apply here, and so you might see students' names who don't attend our school but reside in our district.
We would grant that, or?
It just, so as the three schools we talked, and we would determine that based on our course offerings. So if we offer the course and they have the opportunity to attend here and take it through us, it would be denied.
Same thing with Superior and so on.
Yep. And we decided as, I guess, us counselors talked, and then we talked to our administration, and we felt like by meeting with the counselor at your resident school, they would be the best ones to advise what they could or couldn't take, because I can't really speak for Superior or Solon. So, it'll be an extra step for our open enrolled kids to do start college now. Now, that wording is not part of the early college credit program. I don't know if that will change, but they are two different systems, the technical college system and the UW system, so that's why they're different.
And it's fair, because why would we grant somebody approval to go in that thing if we offer it at our own school?
Ultimately, if they couldn't, they do have the option to enroll and come here and take our courses, so. And Cody said that made a lot of sense with the way funding through those programs works, which was a little bit over my head, but I just said, okay. Okay, and then the new course proposal that we had, I wrote this course proposal. It is to offer another course through UW Superior called Intro to Education 200. That's a 3-credit class, and this really came about at an admin meeting. We were talking about the teacher shortage. I think it was towards the beginning of the year, and how at my last school district, they offered this course through UW River Falls, and they did some, I guess you would say maybe internship hours or hands-on time at the elementary school. So the students would do their coursework at the high school and have times where they could go over to the elementary school or middle school and do some hands-on work with students. And DPI keeps using this phrase called grow your own, right? Grow your own teachers, find your own. So we feel like this would be a step in the direction to help draw high schoolers who are looking at education as a potential career path to give them a jump start, get them a positive experience, and then maybe tie it into our other buildings where there could be some tutoring, or they would get paired with some other teachers who, like for example, if you wanted to do kindergarten, we could talk to one of the kindergarten teachers and try to pair them to go for some of their hours, because their classes at UWS are maybe 3 days a week for 45 minutes, and ours are every day for 90 minutes. So there would be time in there for them to be able to do some hands-on practical experience hours with our students.
Is there a prerequisite to get into this course? Is there
Isn't a
grade
prerequisite.
determined grade?
We did reach out to UWS and asked if they would be willing to partner with us. They said they would. Phil McGrath was approved to teach the course because he has a master's in education, and he was really excited about doing something like this. And I did ask them if they thought of what kind of costs there might be along with the course, like if we'd have to purchase a set of textbooks. And they said what they use right now are all readings and things that would be online. So Phil would have access to post those to Canvas or to use them in class. So I don't think there would be an additional cost there. It would just be the cost of the course. And our kids right now pay 25% of that. So it's a 3-credit class. The class is probably $300. The kids would pay about $75. And then they could probably take up to 20. I haven't put this out to the kids because it's not approved, so I don't know what the interest level will be. But I think it would be pretty great if we could get 10 to 15 kids who are interested, who could potentially come back and even student teach with us and end up in one of our buildings teaching. So that's our intent of trying to get behind that grow your own mentality.
So the cost of our district would roughly be $225 a kid?
Yeah.
And 20 to 25 students probably?
It's hard to say. I don't know what the interest level will be. This year we offered Intro to Communications for the first time, and we got 5 kids in there, like really the max that we would allow. And so, I think it'd be great if we could get 15 to 20. I think that would be a pretty high level of interest for this class. And I think we would probably allow juniors and seniors to do it. And it would be offered for me based on availability and Phil's schedule. he happens to be good friends with someone that teaches this class, so he like has a kind of a mentor as well, so he was pretty excited about the idea.
I think his aunt teaches or has taught at the EWS too.
Yeah, so, I think Tanya Craig had suggested that some schools have a club like this, and then I brought up that I'd been part of setting up one of these classes before, and so this one, normally a new course proposal comes from a teacher, but this one kind of came from us through a mental health meeting.
And Superior reached out back in August. Yeah, it was ready for that too.
Yeah, they were really
They reached out in
excited.
August and said, are you interested? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Speaking from the elementary level, because we have a very strong mentorship program. So I'm gonna,
Mentorship and student tutors, we have both of those programs now.
yeah, if you've been down there 245-ish, you see a huge wave come through. It's a very good connection, and if we can grow some of those, I think it'll probably be around that 20 mark with the combined classes, 10 from each grade level. I think our teachers would love it. We've had a lot of student teachers come back and teach us, so it'd be a great way to grow our own, in my opinion.
So the kids that come now at the NES, what are they? What
We have
classes?
our mentorship program's like a club organization.
Oh, okay.
Cara Heinola and Jennifer Vick work on it. It's a club.
Oh,
So they go down during advisory 1 or 2 times a day. We have student tutors that go down. Sometimes that's class, where they just go down to help the teacher. This would be kind of a little bit higher up the food chain. They would be much more involved with the teacher, lesson plans, classroom management, delivery of lessons as they get out of the course.
Sure.
So this would be a much more than just, hey, we're gonna sit here and talk and play games and, which is work good. I mean, kids love it. Our kids love it, and the younger kids love it, teachers.
For some of our kids, it's the highlight of their day or their week. So they get to see those people that they look up to coming down and they build those relationships. It's great.
My daughter's really mad that she doesn't get one. She's asking me how she can get one.
yeah.
I'm like, you don't get one.
We don't have that. Sorry.
So I kind of jumped around there, but that's a summary of all the changes that we would like to make in our course book. Once this gets approved, then what Brian and I will do is we will update it to match what you approved, and we will get our scheduling process set up. We have to come up with a timeline of when we'd like to do that this year, and that will probably start happening very soon. I guess as soon as we finish the semester.
Next Monday.
Any more questions?
It sounds like a great idea.
Just the motion from to pass those two, to approve those 2 items to go to the board for any.
Anyone looking for a motion?
I make a motion to adopt the suggested changes to the curriculum.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It passes.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you for all the work on it.
All right, any more
Motion to
motion?
adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Great job running the meeting, Mr. Cowley.
I forgot the bird.